Get the sound system right. So, if you're not in awe, you may not be paying attention. Many of you have heard that statement before. I want to talk this morning for a few minutes about the power of awe, which is the power of wow, which is ultimately the power of now. I believe that we are supposed to feel awe and feel it frequently. And I'll be explaining what I mean by that. First of all, what is the feeling of awe? We've all felt it many times. Awe is defined as being an overwhelming feeling of reverence, admiration, fear, gratitude, wonder, produced by that which is grand, sublime, extremely powerful. And I'm purposely going to leave out the fear part of the definition of what I'm saying today and focus exclusively on the positive connotations of the term. What does it feel like to feel awe? If you've ever stood on the rim of the Grand Canyon with a panoramic purple and orange sunset blazing across the western horizon, you've felt awe. You could stand transfixed for 10 or 15 minutes, losing track of time, forgetting even that there's a you there watching this display. Then later that same evening, perhaps you gaze up at the vast expanse of stars on the clearest, darkest night you've ever beheld, and you find yourself feeling a sense of amazing awe and childlike wonder. But it also comes closer to home. Icicles dangling from the gutters, reflecting the sun. A babbling brook in a quiet forest. A baby laughing. The first flower poking its head up above the ground in the spring. Frequently, when feeling awe, your jaw drops. Your mouth opens a bit. It's as if the vocal cords themselves are automatically uttering the word awe. You can hear people gasping, taking a little breath into the open mouth with the sound that comes with the incoming breath. It's similar to the startle response, but again, I want to keep our attention on awe's positive variations. To feel awe is exhilarating. You don't regret feeling awe. It's a positive experience. You can temporarily lose track of time. You become absorbed. You feel uplifted afterwards, inspired and quickened. When we gaze up at the star-studded heavens on a clear, dark night, we recognize our true size by comparison. We look up and we see power, beauty, harmony, unimaginable distance and scope and scale. And if we reflect for even a moment, we realize that each one of those pinpricks of light is a raging sun. Think about that. Each one is a raging sun. And in the face of such magnitude, such power, we come to recognize our smallness, and we have a true sense of humility, which is a positive experience of the relative size and vulnerability of the human body in relation to the amazingly powerful forces of nature and of the cosmos. Awe can be so powerful that it's sort of paralyzing. We are stopped in our tracks, in a good way, in a way that we would never call bad or negative. And again, we are energized and charged and invigorated. We're never depressed or discouraged when we experience awe. In fact, that is an antidote to those. We are uplifted. When we ponder the size of the Great Pyramid, for example, and we end up being recharged and to handle the areas of our life where we had previously felt discouraged or it seemed daunting. We have a proper sense of perspective. We become merged into something much larger, much grander, by whatever name we want to call it. The mystery, God, the all-good, Allah, Jehovah, the Tao. We become transfixed and transported. Those are the words that you hear people that we use during that time. Someone will exclaim, I was transported. Transported where, we might ask? Well, it seems that we are transported into a greater whole, into a larger, grander rhythm, a magnificent symphony, so uplifting and beautiful that we intuitively sense that we are a part of it. We become synchronized with the whole, recognizing our part in that. And we know at a gut level that we are in tune, that our part is important and essential, even if small overall. This realization, this experience of awe, can be a source of tremendous positive energy. And if we know the secret of awe and of how to use it effectively, we can release more of its power into our daily living. Awe is transformational. When we're feeling awe, it's very closely related to the feeling of gratitude. We're naturally and easily falling into an overwhelming sense of gratefulness. So what I'm saying here is that we should strive to experience awe. We should aspire to it, have an intention to feel as much awe as we can. Pursuing awe is therefore a bona fide spiritual practice. For when we are swept up in a moment of awe, we are truly in the present, which is the presence, the very presence of God, of the all-good source, of the source of our being, the magnificent creator of all of existence. We have consciously entered into the gates of heaven. We have succeeded in landing smack dab in the very center of the eternal now. This sacred now is a definite feeling. It's a thrill. If we think about it, we realize that we are standing on sacred, holy ground, where your feet are now. All of you, all of us, is sacred ground. I think of Moses as related in the book of Exodus, chapter 3. Moses has just seen a bush that is burning, and yet it is not consumed. And a mighty voice comes out of the bush and says to Noah, "Do not come any closer. Take off the shoes from your feet. For the place on which you are now standing is holy ground." When we are in awe, we have the opportunity to directly experience that we are standing on holy ground. And we know that this is good and very good indeed. And we intuitively feel that we belong here, that this is right. So what can we do with these experiences? The next time you have an awesome moment, be determined to capture the experience in a way that you can remember and harness its power later on. Verbalize what you are saying. Verbalize what you are feeling. Say aloud, "That's awesome." Yes. You will feel a little chill go through your body, and you will get an instant lift. And most importantly, the moment is concretized. You have a point of reference to draw on in the future. During this awe moment, you can purposely touch some part of your body, press your hands together, squeeze your earlobe between finger and thumb, any kind of purposeful skin pressure that is conscious. And you will further reinforce and embed the memory of this experience of awe into your nervous system. And the next step, of course, is to actually replay that awesome experience of that sunrise or that snowfall in your mind, so that when you are stuck in traffic and you're feeling frustrated, you can project yourself back into that experience, and suddenly the world becomes different. You are on a different wavelength. This is no ordinary traffic jam, baby. Awe is an antidote. It bestows on us a powerful sense of expanded perspective. When you've gotten embroiled in a petty argument with a loved one, you can step outside and walk through the soft, silent forest of freshly falling snow. And then when you come back inside, you can more easily say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Let's resolve this and move on. I remember the day Edwina Gaines was here last October. She was standing somewhere up here when the snow began falling out there. She shared how amazing an experience that was for her. Since she doesn't very often see snow where she lives in the South, I could sense from her as she was talking, I could feel it. I could feel that she was having a powerful experience of awe at that time. So, to summarize, if you're not in awe, you may not be paying attention. Therefore, pay attention and capture the wow of the awe moment now, and be resolved to use that later for your benefit. Thank you. And now we will hear from you.